Hey, welcome back to Clean Cut, where we can talk about the truth about just about anything, as long as we use logic and common sense.
This season we're returning to the topic of the Psalms and their meaning. Now, a brief disclaimer before getting into this psalm. The Psalms will be numbered differently in different translations of the Bible. This is a very old discrepancy, and to help clear things up, I'll be explaining what number the psalm has in the Douay-Rheims Bible and in the Revised Standard Version. However, the episodes themselves will list psalm numbers as they're given in the Douay-Rheims Bible. Sorry if this is confusing. Anyway, this is Psalm 75 in the Douay-Rheims Bible, but Psalm 76 in the RSV. Unto the end in praises, a psalm for Asaph, a canticle to the Assyrians. Again, Asaph was in charge of the service of music during the reigns of David and Solomon, and this verse also includes a context in which the psalm was used, as a psalm of praise. This psalm seems to also have been sung in the presence of Assyrians, probably emissaries or even visiting royalty. The Assyrians would conquer Israel 2 centuries later, but during the time of Solomon, kings and queens came from all over to visit him and pay their respects. In Judea, God is known. His name is great in Israel. The religions of most people were little more than cults during those early times, superstitions where people would do what they thought the gods wanted them to do. Israel was different because God had given them specific instructions, a law to live by, and even told them his name. And his place is in peace, and his abode in Sion. There hath he broken the powers of bows, the shield, the sword, and the battle. There are other ways to solve most problems apart from war, and because of God's wisdom and his law, the lands ruled by him enjoy peace. Thou enlightenest wonderfully from the everlasting hills. God spreads his knowledge and wisdom outward, from the eternity where he lives. All the foolish of heart were troubled. They have slept their sleep, and all the men of riches have found nothing in their hands. Slept their sleep implies a sleep beyond sleep. In other words, because fools refuse to learn, they're taken even more unawares than if they'd been sleeping, by comparison to the wise who listen to God's laws and are protected and prepared by them. The imagery of rich men being empty-handed obviously means that riches don't last, and that trusting in riches is a losing strategy. At thy rebuke, O God of Jacob, they have all slumbered that mounted on horseback. People mounted on horseback seems to refer to enemy armies. When God passes judgment on an army, that army will lose. Thou art terrible, and who shall resist thee? From that time thy wrath. Again, terrible as in incredible, not terrible as in horrible. No one can successfully resist God or prevent him from punishing those who he judges. The wrath of God obviously doesn't refer to the sin of wrath, or even an expression of what we would call anger. It's a means of describing the part of God's justice that involves some people suffering the consequences of their own sinful choices. Thou hast caused judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth trembled and was still, when God arose in judgment to save all the meek of the earth. God makes judgments in heaven which have earth-shaking effects. His goal is to rescue humble people from the prideful and those who abuse worldly authority. For the thought of man shall give praise to thee, and the remainders of the thought shall keep holiday to thee. Vow ye, and pay to the Lord your God. All you that are round about him, bring presents. Praise God, and keep certain days holy in his honor. Make promises to God, and deliver on those promises. It's also good to make voluntary sacrifices. To him that is terrible, even to him who taketh away the spirit of princes, to the terrible with the kings of the earth. Again, not terrible bad. God can take away the lives of evil rulers, however, so he should always be taken seriously. This is definitely a song of praise, but with a bit of an edge. God is acknowledged for the great things he can do, and for his power and goodness, but it's also phrased a bit in the context of a warning to those who try to cause harm to the people of Israel. God is always good, but that doesn't mean we can do whatever we want and expect him to just stand by and not respond. Next time, we'll begin a season on the miracles of Jesus, starting with an episode on why miracles matter. See you then.
That's all for now, so keep asking questions, and thanks for watching.